Mrs. Wiggins. Could you kind of whiz along with this thing? I've got a lot of work to do back at the office.
Mr. Tudball, this is a moment of grief, and I cannot be expected to make a snap decision.
Don't see how a rubber band of your age could possibly make a snap decision.
I just can't believe he's gone.
Tried to tell you on the way over that the things that come and the things that go. I mean, you just got to expect that. That's the law of the jungle. And if you want to quit doing that, you're getting my Sears and sucker suit all...
May I assist you?
Well, I'll tell you, Prune Puss. It's her that you're looking to assist. She's the one that's moaning.
You mean mourning?
No, she's moaning. Her feet hurt her and everything.
My name is Mr. Crothers, and I would like to welcome you to Pet Heaven.
Thank you.
May I ask, what loved one did you lose?
My canary died.
Well, may I assure you that we here at Pet Heaven share in your grief.
That's wonderful news, the Falcon Fingers, but there's not an awful lot of a grief to share here. She only had the bird for 10 minutes.
How did our little friend meet his maker?
Well, I brought him home from the pet store, and I put him in his little cage, and...
What happened was, you see, the canary did the grunty in the cage there, and the bird woman here decided to clean it up. Only she used the vacuum cleaner. She accidentally sucked him up. So now he's up in the big Hoover in the sky.
And I hardly knew him.
I hardly knew him either, and she's the one that sent me down to the dump to identify the body. So, I told her that I would pay for the funeral here, son.
May I assure you and the foreign gentlemen that we here at Pet Heaven do share in your sorrow.
Thank you.
Like I say, there ain't a great deal of sorrow to share here. The big sorrow is that I got to spring for some big bucks to put this eagle to the rest. You know what I mean?
What was the little fellow's name while he was with us?
His name was Cheaper.
And that's also how I'd like it to see him go, you know?
Let's see what we have to offer. Will this be an opened or closed canary casket?
Excuse me a minute. I'm going to talk to the widow here. Look, would you kind of hustle this along? This place is giving me the heebies and the jeebies. What do you think about that, to close the casket?
I don't know. I think I would like to see him the way he was.
I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, after all, that dude went through 8 feet of hose in 2 seconds. It's gonna take a couple of guys just to get them eyes shut on that. What do you say we just slam the lid on this little songster?
We have this solid walnut with brass hardware. That would be $50. We have this beautiful solid oak That would be $75.
Either one would be fine.
And 50 or 75, is it? Excuse me, she's in the shock. I'm going to talk to her. 50 or $75. Now, look, don't let your grief run away with my wallet. What did you pay for that bird, anyway?
$6. He was $8, but he didn't sing, so I got him for $6.
Well, if he was ever going to sing, I imagine you'd have heard the tune out of him when you hit him with that nozzle.
Well, Mr. Tudball, I just want him to go out in style.
In the style, huh? Sure. Now, just a minute now. You paid the $6 for a mute. Then you want me to lay out the 50 big ones for a little walnut the box here?
Well, if he could have talked, he would have wanted it that way.
If he could have talked, he would have said to shut off the Hoover.
Excuse me, but may I remind you that both caskets are corrosion-proof and guaranteed to last forever.
Well, may I remind you that we're not looking to dig this thing up every week to see how it's doing.
Oh, I see.
I'm not going to lay out any $50.
But you said you'd pay for the funeral.
For $50, you could buy a squadron of canaries.
But you promised me.
Look, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just pick up a little flag and then we take the ferry home and bury him at the sea? You can make a large donation in his name to the St. Louis Cardinals.
That's not fair. All of a sudden, you're just so worried about your own money. You didn't seem to mind losing $63 last Saturday night playing poker.
That's a whole different thing.
I don't know if it's a different ting or not. What if Mrs. Tudball knew?
Now, how is a Mrs. Tudball possibly going to find out that I lost the $63 in the... You wouldn't tell the old beauty, would you? All right, to hit me with one of those walnut matchboxes.